Hello everybody, welcome to another video. My name is Infiniti and I am back with another Centro knitting machine video. This is not a tutorial, I'm so sorry, but if you do want to learn how to use this machine or you want some more insight on it, I have an entire playlist back on my channel just called How to Use the Centro Knitting Machine. It's a very popular playlist that you guys seem to support en masse, so I want to thank you for your viewership and all the kind words that you leave me there. Before we get into today's video, I have a quick word for you and then we're going to dive into yarn details and whether or not this yarn works on the Centro. This video is brought to you by my supporters over at Hey Craftapreneur. Hey Craftapreneur is my monthly pattern club which includes my knitting, crochet, and Centro knitting machine designs. Each month, members are given access to at least 2 of these designs as they are either added to the library or updated, and they will have continual access to my entire written/video pattern library for as long as they are members. Membership also gives you the title of Super Crafty because that's what you are. Members are also given complimentary access to most of my crochet or knitting courses that are published on the website. For example, I recently published a step-by-step crochet course which will walk you through all the terminology, discussions about gauge, and the actual mechanics of the craft. It is a self-paced course that is usually purchased individually, but because you are monthly or quarterly supporters, you get access to it totally free as long as you're signed up for the club. The support I get from Hey Craftapreneur allows me to continue to operate this channel and publish the tutorial content that you've come to know and love. So, if you want to support me and make cool stuff, as I'm sure you've seen under the community tab here, then consider heading over and signing up today after the end of this tutorial. Alright, let's dive into the instruction. Of course, this is Lion brand Scarfie in some very old packaging. To be honest, I got this out of a clearance bin probably 6 years ago. So, anywho, this is a 78% acrylic yarn, 22% wool. If you're curious, it is a bulky 5-weight red flag yarn, and the crochet hook recommendation for it is a 6.5 millimeter. I know you're like, Infiniti, you're getting bolder and bolder with these yarns. Yeah, kind of. So without further ado, we're just going to pop this in here. Going to cast on. If you're looking for those types of videos, again, those are included under that helpful playlist back on my channel. And I'll leave it linked at the end of the video in case you want to check that out. Alright, so this is the Centro 22, and it is by far the most finicky machine out there. I don't often recommend testing yarns in the Centro 22. It is the most prone to dysfunction. This is my 3rd one that I've had in the last 4 years. I don't know if that's a result of me overworking the machine because I was on a serious maker spree in 2020 through 2022, so could have been, but based on the comments and feedback you guys give me, I think that that's not the case so much. So just a word of caution. Again, this is a 5-weight yarn, so I'm going to pop it into the loosest tension on this machine. You might be able to stand not putting it in the tensioner at all, especially if your yarn is on the thicker end like this. Now we're just going to crank a tube. And hopefully I cast on right, because sometimes I look away while I'm casting on, and that's not smart. Usually when you test out yarns in a machine like this, or if you have an Addy, you want to crank at least 10 to 15 rows before you go full steam ahead, just to make sure there's no tucking, no grinding, no catching of any sort going on. But because you like these videos so much, sometimes I can just do these videos with reckless abandon. So again, thank you for being here. But so far, there's no catching, there's no clicking, there's no grinding. The only catching I'm having is because my yarn tangles and it pulls up the tension guide and slows down my cranking. That's it. User error only. Alright, I know I have more than 15 rows here, which is cool. I just kind of get hypnotized by this yarn because it has such a smooth and pretty gradation. Yeah. And you can see how it works up in one of my recent crochet patterns. It's called the Merrimack Crossing scarf. It's crochet, and I wrote it like 6 years ago and finally wrote out the pattern for publication a few weeks ago or a month ago now, whenever this video goes up. And so yeah, I really enjoy the color transitions of it. I just kind of want to crank up whatever I had pulled out here, and there we go. So now I want to find my beginning. There we go. And I'm going to cast off. Alright, not really worried about pulling anything out this time, unlike last time. And here we go. I'm going to zoom in so we can get a good look at what's going on here. Okay, so this is what our little swatch here looks like. You can see some very nice, even vertical columns, and the 22 is actually perfect for this thing's color transition. There's no jogging in the color line, which is not necessarily a big win or lose thing, but it's very nice nonetheless. It looks very bright here on the camera, but this is kind of like a light medium gray that it's fading into before it gets to the darker tones. Overall, this is a success, and to be completely honest and transparent, I have used this yarn in this machine before, so I already knew it would work, but nonetheless, I've never tried it out on the channel, so I wanted to put this yarn out there for you all, and it will be listed underneath the blog on my website, yarns that work with the Centro knitting machine. So I'll try to leave that linked in the description box as well, in case you want to check that out and see the full list of things that I've tested out over the years. That would mean a lot to me. But like I said, if you enjoy my content enough, consider heading over and signing up for Hey Craftpreneur today. You get access to all my crochet, knitting, and Centro knitting machine goodness over there. I typically post about 2 to 3 patterns per month. It just really depends on my schedule and things like that. But at minimum, there's 2 designs that go out, and these patterns come with written and visual aids. So written pattern, video tutorials, things like that. If you enjoyed today's video, again, I kindly ask that you head over to my website and sign up for Hey Craftpreneur. It's thanks to that support from my Super Crafties that I am able to continue content like this here on YouTube, which may or may not be the case after May of 2024. It's not entirely necessary, but it would mean the world to me if I could gain 10 Super Crafties today to continue my passion, my joy, and my business. Otherwise, just subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video so the algorithm says that I am worthy, and until next time, happy making.